But it's already recorded. You tired?
Got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I got a line. I'ma call up the whole team.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Zertuche, and we are here fishing for some black drum. We're looking for the slots. We're looking for the bigger sizes, 18 to 30 inches, so we can definitely do a fish fry. We're looking forward to it. This is pretty much my first fishing trip where I actually get to go, and I'm looking for some meat to take home, because we definitely want to get a fish fry going. Maybe I'll hook up my workers this week too, a little Thanksgiving feast. You know what? I really like that idea. I think we need to fish fry at the shop. Alright guys, so we are setting up with the 3-way Jack Crevalle 3-way longs, and also the double drop drum leaders and the double drop improved drum leaders. And I've also got one of my rigs that I am testing that's an improvement of the double drops. It was something that I had an idea about, and it's an extension of the Pompano leader. So I brought it out here so I can give it a shot to see how well it would do against other leaders that have already proven themselves. And hopefully this leader will be the next generation of leaders to come out of our shop on a more frequent basis after we get some good testing on them to make sure that they do not disintegrate on cast and or when big fish get on them. And the only way to do that is when they are hitting like the way they are doing now. So I got my daughter with me, and we're up here with a good friend of mine, one of my young fishing friends that I've seen him grow up since younger than my daughter, out on Bob Hall Pier, and has become quite the fisherman himself. And so he actually said that he was heading out there, so I got the invite to go. And as I was getting my gear to go fishing, my daughter's like, I want to go. So there she is. As you can tell, she is loving being out on the pier. It is pretty miserable out here. It's cold, it's kind of drizzly, windy, and the fish are here. Like I said, as the fishing heats up, the temperatures normally are dropping and or getting ugly. Alright guys, so as you saw, I was casting into the flats. We are fishing the flats, the channel in front of us, the channel to the right of us. We're definitely trying to figure out where the fish are being that, you know, since we just got here, you know, we've got one fish on the stringer. That was the second pull right there, and we are about to reset my baits because I got there and I left my shrimp in the bed of my truck. Whoopsie! But my buddy went and got it for me and brought it in, so I'm gonna definitely start setting this up, and we are rigging up for a lot more action. And obviously the winds and temperatures starting to drop, so now I'm gonna start layering up. I do love our Team Hard Life sweaters and hoodies because they definitely do work. They really do. So we were out there, and temperature was definitely dropping, but definitely want to stay warm and you want to stay layered, because if you don't, once that wind starts cutting through your clothing, it could really ruin a fishing trip. One of the things I was looking out for as I was pulling in the drum was the fish scales. If I noticed that there was any kind of bloodiness in the scales, then it wouldn't have been something that I was going to take home, because we were intending on keeping fish for dinner. So I was looking at their scales, and since they weren't bloody, then that meant that there was no worms or parasites inside them to discolor their scales. So I was taking home some pretty healthy fish, and that was what my goal was. So I was talking to some customers earlier today, and they were talking about how, you know, they don't like what size should they look out for on keeping fish with worms. And I said, well, I've caught them with, you know, caught them in small fish too, and that's when I started learning to keep an eye out for that color discoloration. And by doing that, it ensures that whatever fish I do take home, I don't have to worry about, you know, throwing away any of the meat. Or, you know, if I do find any in there, they're just starting in, so it'd be like one or two, and so I only, you know, I can pull them out most of the time without having to throw away any good meat sections and stuff like that. Something else you want to pay attention to with these new stringers: don't use the loop that they offer with the stringer if it's not welded shut. If it's not welded shut and you can see a gap, they will open up on you with enough pressure on the fish. If you get enough of them on there, it will open up. I've seen it done. So what I normally do is go through the loop without it. And then also too, remember to go through the gill and out through their mouth and wrap that line through there for your stringer, because that'll ensure the lip don't break and you lose the fish, and be like me where you catch it years later where its lip is healed and it's still eating like that with a broken lip like that. I've got a couple of videos like that too, showing those big old drum. They're in the 40-inch range and the lip is split in half. Alright guys, so now that I'm kind of cooling off because I didn't have to make the long walk and to the pier carrying the gear, I am wearing a glow-in-the-dark hoodie right here. Well, you're going to notice the color difference between that one and my regular chartreuse hoodies right there. So I figured I'd go ahead and explain that right now when you notice the two different colors. But right there where the shadow is, you can kind of see the hoodie glow in the dark right there for that split second. There was still too much light for it to work, but yeah, it definitely glows, guys. Y'all heard in the live video feed earlier that Mr. Truck and Life was out there at the end of the jetties, and they really saw the hoodies, and that's pretty awesome. Show it to the camera. Yeah, got it. I was over there Monday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, it's raining. It's pretty good. We were only out there an hour. I believe because the FRANKO started drinking in for the end of the week right there. My bones drops from a 3 to 10. Got a lot of that bait on bottom? No, I'm just recording right now.
Okay, so that's...
Actually, I should flip it because the rain's coming in. Hey, look, boss! They're here. They just started. We've got 3 of them. Huh? You got 1 drum and I got 2.
Would have had to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, well, be safe, man. One of the things you'll see me do a lot of is right before I set it down, I normally move the rod and move the weight, because I've had drum that come up and slam the bait like that, and then they just sit there. They're hooked up, but they're just sitting there. So I've gotten into the practice of just breaking the weight and making sure that they're able to move the weight if they hit it, but also too just ensuring that the drums aren't there. There's times where we see them hit like perch as well, and so we set the hook on them and they're already on there. So there's a bunch of different forms of catching drum, and they do different things. So keep an eye out on that. Alright guys, so yes, I have the fish bites on the hook, and what I'm doing is I'm using the shrimp, and I am putting half on and half when I'm doing the double drops. But when I got this 3-way Jack Crevalle leader, I'm throwing a whole shrimp on, because I'm still trying to figure out how they're hitting. Are they starting to go with the smaller baits, or is it still too early for that? Only way to test it. As you can see, we've been hitting drums all over the place between the flats, into the flats on the other side of the channel that's in front of the pier, and then to the channel that's in the right side as well. We're catching everything from small to large keepers. We haven't hit anything oversized. The biggest one so far is 29 inches, which is pretty good. I just wish I had brought my wind socks so that way I could have gotten a lot more of the conversations we had out there. It was pretty interesting.
We eat all shrimp. I ain't discriminatory, bro.
No, I don't know the difference. No,
Damn,
you
I'm
get,
talking something. Holy shit.
yeah, you get.
Wow, yes, folks, there is a difference between shrimps.
No, I know there's a danger shrimp too.
Yeah, they,
That's not
oh, you're talking about like tiger shrimp. Those invasive ones? Or are you talking about the spotted shrimp?
I think it's spotted.
There's rock shrimp, the ones that have a real hard shell on them.
I have no idea.
Those freaking prawns that have long legs and shit like that. Oh, come on, man. I'm so anxious to see a good fight. I'm like, I don't know who it is. Get somebody on it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I work there.
Yeah. This is actually the setup.
Okay. Hey, yours. Ooh. Don't worry, you fall in the water, I'll fight it for you. Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one.